Howdy folks, we're going to do a short video on how to install your flow meter and its cable into a backwash valve on a 5900 CWS valve. Black cap marks the fact that it's backwash, it's not a softener valve. What we're going to do first is we're going to remove the barrels and the steel clips that are going to be sitting there on your backwash valve. You're going to remove the clips and the screws, and you're going to remove the barrels. And then you're going to go ahead and look at your turbine assembly, your flow sensor assembly. The turbine, the part that reads the meters, wants to go on the outlet side, which when you're standing behind it is on the right. The inlet's on the left and the outlet's on the right. And you want the part with the meter and you want the cable sticking up and the part with the meter on the right. You're going to put some lubricant on the O-rings and then push this thing in. And then later, after you're done connecting the cable and you go to put your bypass assembly, then you will use the clips that are going to be attached to the valve, and you're going to use these clips, which are a little bit different looking clip, and you'll secure that to the bypass. So now we have to get the cable to go hook up to the circuit board on the inside. So there are two screws here and here on the back to remove the back cover. I already took the screws out. And so you get that aside. Now there are three screws, two at the top on the left and right, and one at the right bottom, and I've already removed those screws. And so now what you can do with those screws removed and your cable that you're going to want to install, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the motor cable, and you're going to take the lead to the 9-volt battery and start pulling this thing apart. The head is going to come apart, and you're going to want to take your 9-volt cable and get it out of your way by pulling it all the way out. The next thing you're going to pull out is this other cable that connects right there, and it is hardwired to the board, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can see where you took it out. That's where you're going to put it back at. And so now you can get the cover far enough away, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take the meter cable and completely remove it. There's a little barb, and get it out of there and have it loose in your hand. On the circuit board, which I'm going to bring over and show you closer in a second, on the circuit board there is a jack, and right above it it says water meter. It's written right there. It shows you exactly in little tiny lettering that the camera probably won't pick up, but it does say water meter. That's right where I hooked it up there, right where my thumb is pointing, and like I say, when you're looking at it live, you'll see that it says water meter right there. So now we've got the cable hooked up. Now we have to fish it back through, and there are two holes, and the first hole you want to put it through. The second hole, which is the hole where your motor electric lead came out of, you don't want to go through that hole. What you're going to do is go out the side, and you're going to use this same finish piece. We're going to unhook this piece here. So don't forget, you're going to put your other cable back on where it goes. You're going to grab your 9-volt lead and fish it back through, and then you're going to start getting the cover sort of back on, and you're going to pull your lead through for your motor. And your other one is just going to come out, and it's going to eventually go there. You want to get that lined up, okay? Now it's mostly back on. I'm reconnecting the motor lead. Now the motor lead is back on. Now this is the little finish piece that goes around the cables and sucks up the empty space in the hole between the two halves. And so you'll have to unsnap it and then figure out which direction it wants to orientate in. A couple of tries of doing it, and you will figure it out. It's not something I can really show. And then you're going to squeeze it closed. It's not going to snap into place, nor is it really going to stay there, but there is a little groove on the side of it, and you're going to jam it into where the spot is on the side of the valve. And after a couple of times of fussing with it, just like me, you'll get it in there, and now you'll be able to line your top head up off and make sure that it's making a tight seal all the way around. Check it, visually look all the way around and make sure, okay, it's on there good. And then you're going to take your 3 screws. You'll use either a flathead screwdriver or a 1/4-inch nut driver. I got a 1/4-inch nut driver right here. I'm going to put my 1 screw there. Now I can let go of the thing. I'm going to put my other screw here. And for brevity's sake, I won't bother screwing them all the way in. The third screw is going to go down over here, right here where the motor cable comes out. And you've got those three back in. You got your DC lead. Hook your battery up. If you're going to use a battery at this point, you hook your 9-volt battery up. And the stuffing the battery in there is a little tricky. We have a video for that too to show you how to do that. Okay, so to put your battery in if you're going to do that. And your cap, your back plate is going to go on. Again, there's 2 screws. I'm going to get one started so it holds it. Alright, and the last thing you need to do, well, the second to last thing you need to do is get your cable and stab it back in to the hole where it goes. Alright, so now it's all set up and now it's ready for you to use the flow meter and to take advantage of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug the valve in. And the valve is going to come up, and you're going to press and hold both the top button and the bottom button simultaneously for about 5 or 6 seconds. And you will see it on a backwash valve. It's going to be what looks like a lowercase t with half its crossbar missing and a dash, and then the letter C as in cat in small. In order to activate the meter, we're going to press the set change button. Just the C is flashing now. We're going to press the set change button again. Now it changes to the D. Alright, so now we've got it set. All of it's flashing. We're ready to move on to the next item. Now as you follow in your programming mode, the rest of it is going to be programmed in order so that you arrive at a gallons number. And the rest of that, how to do that, is covered inside the guide. The startup guide for any backwash system says if your backwash system comes with a flow meter, this is how to set it up. So refer to the guide for the rest of the instructions. Thank you, folks.